What's up, literature lovers? I am Evasive, and this video is about pain. 50 Shades of Grey, aka A Book That Outsold The Grapes of Wrath, is an erotic novel released in 2011 that took the world by storm. In the early to mid 2010s, this thing was everywhere. From billboards to store displays to references in shows it had no business being referenced in, it was impossible to avoid this nasty little book and the franchise it created. But times have changed. The movie series ended in 2018, the author is writing thick British smut now, and Target isn't selling officially licensed 50 Shades of Grey lube for $13.49 anymore. Nobody cares about 50 Shades of Grey anymore, but you know who never cared about it to begin with? Asexuals. And as my longtime viewers know, I am proof that people who lean asexual can be sadomasochists too. So to satisfy my sick, twisted desires, I lured 6 asexuals to my house with a big tray of garlic bread and recorded their reactions while I made them watch 50 Shades of Grey, the movie. And yeah, I know that making a video about 50 Shades of Grey at this point is just beating a dead horse, but I don't care. I'm gonna beat that dead horse anyway. I'm gonna beat it, and 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 beat it, and... Once upon a time in the far-off land of West London, there was a former TV executive named Erica Mitchell. One cold day in December 2008, Erica went to her local movie theater to see a little film called Twilight. Inspired by the timeless love story between a 17-year-old girl and a 104-year-old vampire, Mitchell became obsessed. After leaving the theater, she walked straight into a bookstore, bought the entire series, and read them all in just 3 days. Needing more, she took to the internet and discovered the wild, wild world of fanfiction.net. Using the screen name Snow Queen Ice Dragon, Mitchell began writing her own episodic Twilight fanfiction called Master of the Universe. She gained a small following in the fanfic community, but after some people in the comments objected to how, graphic her story was, she took it down. Instead of burying it though, Erica Mitchell had an idea that would change her life forever. And that idea was, hey, what if I just change the names of the characters and publish it as an original story? So in June 2011, that's exactly what she did. Using the pen name E.L. James, Mitchell published the first third of her fanfiction online as a book titled 50 Shades of Grey. Around the same time, e-readers like Kindle started getting really popular, making it easier than ever before to read X-rated fanfiction on public transit. Somehow the stars all perfectly aligned and sent this book into the mainstream. It got terrible reviews and there was controversy over how the book depicts BDSM relationships, but thanks to e-readers, the book started selling thousands of copies a day all over the world. Part 2 and 3 were published soon after, and by the end of 2011, 50 Shades had sold millions of copies. Erica Mitchell had accidentally created a global phenomenon. Then in March 2012, already a millionaire less than a year after publishing her first book, Mitchell sold the movie rights to Universal Pictures for around $4 million. She could have gotten more if she sold it outright, but she opted to become lead producer on the project and get a cut of the movie's profits instead. Knowing the frenzy around the book wouldn't last forever, Mitchell immediately got to work rounding up a crew. Her first hires were the producers who worked on The Social Network and the writer of the Tom Hanks Walt Disney film for some reason. Then they all started searching for a director. A few big names like Joe Wright and Angelina Jolie were considered, but ultimately they decided on relatively new director Sam Taylor Johnson, probably because they thought she'd be easier to control. Then they all got to work on casting, which mostly involved begging A-list actors like Ryan Gosling to consider being in a poorly written S&M sex flick. After getting turned down dozens of times, the studio announced in September 2013 that they'd gotten Charlie Hunnam and Dakota Johnson to agree to star in the film. 1 month later, Charlie Hunnam changed his mind and he was replaced by Irish actor Jamie Dornan. Then in December of that year, the movie started filming in Vancouver under a fake name to throw off paparazzi. quickly. And right away, things got tense between Sam Taylor Johnson and Erica Mitchell. On one side was the director, who knew the book wasn't well written and wanted to change things to make for a better movie. On the other side was the author, who was so attached to her book that made her famous that she resisted making any changes and wanted every detail to be exactly the same. According to Sam Taylor Johnson, there were two different creative visions, her vision versus mine, and they were polar opposite. Every scene was fought over. It was like wading uphill through sticky tar. Her thing was, this is what the fans expect. I'd be like, well, let's try and hit those marks but create a new universe at the same time. With the benefit of hindsight, would I go through it again? Of course I wouldn't. I'd be mad. You know what? I don't think I can fully blame Erica Mitchell for this. Like, just imagine what it must be like to be her. One year, you're a retired mom in London writing steamy Twilight fanfiction online, and then a few years later, your fanfiction goes viral, and now all of a sudden you're a multi-millionaire with a fan base, a Hollywood movie deal, a wine brand, an official pleasure collection, and a class action lawsuit on your hands because your 50 Shades of Grey Come Alive Pleasure for Her gel wasn't approved by the FDA.
Yes, me, if you're dumb enough to eat it, you deserve to die.
She didn't know how to make 50 Shades of Grey into a good movie, but she knew how to seize the moment. And at the end of the day, the quality of the movie didn't matter because this Golden Raspberry Worst Picture winner still made $596 million on a $40 million budget. Everyone involved must have known that it was going to make a dump truck worth of money no matter what, and the only reason Sam Taylor Johnson cared so much is because she would be blamed for the movie being bad. I wouldn't say the whole crew was just phoning it in. They all clearly did their best to make the movie look and sound as good as possible. But let's be real, no amount of talent could ever save a story that was written like this.
My inner goddess has stopped dancing and is staring too, open-mouthed and drooling slightly. Keep still, he orders, and slowly he inserts his thumb inside me, rotating it around and around, stroking the front wall of my...
The movie came out on Valentine's Day 2015, and it was immediately banned in like 8 countries. It made $85 million on opening weekend and became the 3rd highest earning movie by a woman director. Then Mitchell fired Sam Taylor Johnson from the sequels and replaced her with a man who would obey her orders. Oh, this is interesting. The movie was edited by an 89-year-old woman who won an Academy Award for editing Lawrence of Arabia in 1962. And this was the last movie she ever worked on. How about I just skip the rest and let you watch the Asexuals make fun of this movie? That's what you clicked on here for, right? It's a pretty universally hated film, so even if you're someone who just loves to... Oh, it's this video's sponsor, Factor. If you follow my Instagram story, you probably know that I love cooking for other people. But with my busy YouTuber work schedule, it's hard for me to find time to cook a whole meal from scratch just for myself. Sure, New York City has lots of food delivery options, but after years of ordering restaurant meals every week, my bank account was clearly suffering. So this year I made the smart decision and signed up for Factor instead. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door that are ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Each week you pick from a menu of 35 dietitian-approved options, heat them up, eat them up, and get on with your day. Plus, Factor is super flexible and allows you to change your order with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause and reschedule your deliveries anytime you need. Whether you're saving time on cooking or saving your wallet from takeout fees, Factor is a great deal that makes eating healthy, cheap, and easy. To get started, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use my code EVASIVE50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code EVASIVE50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring. Now let's get into the video.
I'll take you to the candy shop. I'll let you lick a lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop.
Yeah, we're gearing up for this.
Why do I feel nervous?
I know.
I feel like when they put you on a roller coaster and they put the thing down.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like, do I want to get off now?
Yeah.
Well, they do.
Right. Right.
Real quick before we start, obviously, very strong content warning. This movie was banned in 8 countries for a reason. Second, you'll notice that there aren't very many asexual men in the room, and that's because it turns out asexual men are actually really hard to find. So this is an open casting call. If you're an asexual man living in the New York City metropolitan area and you want to be in a future video, DM me. Also, just FYI, when I recorded this video, there was some construction going on outside, so if you hear any hammering or pounding or drilling or screwing, that's what that is, okay? I did not add any of those sounds in myself, I swear. Okay. Anyway, so 50 Shades of Grey opens with a montage of our 2 horny lead actors getting ready in the morning.
Right.
Everything is gray. Gray house, gray skies.
It's on brand.
It's a
15 of the
California
same
closet,
jacket?
isn't it?
Huh?
It's called a California closet.
Yeah, the design. I think so.
Call it a California closet because in New York we call it an apartment.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman did the music for this.
That's.
He did like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, he does all the Tim
He
Burton
does
stuff.
all the Tim Burton films.
He did the theme for The Simpsons. It's very like
He was
goofy
like,
kind
Yeah,
of. Yeah.
Quirky.
he got off a Tim Burton movie and was like, now what's next?
Okay, but this movie objectively goofy, so
That's
To be
true.
fair.
Yeah.
Now we meet our brave heroine, Anastasia Steele. She's a 21-year-old English Lit student at Washington State University who works at a hardware store and enjoys reading books and biting her lip seductively at the camera. We also meet Anna's roommate, Kate Kavanaugh. She's a journalism student and she just booked an exclusive interview for the school newspaper with the richest, hottest guy in Washington, Christian Grey. But on the day of the interview, Kate gets sick, so she sends Anna to Christian's office to do the interview for her.
Girl,
what is she trip
Air. Gray air.
She's quirky, okay?
She's not like other girls.
Has she ever walked through a door before? Like,
Bambi.
I'm Anastasia Steele.
Ew.
stop. That's not your name.
Oh my god. This,
The cardigan says I'm innocent, but the name says porn star?
Yeah.
this
right. Her
reeks
name
of
is
fan
Barbie.
fiction. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now here is Christian Grey, the 27-year-old billionaire CEO of Grey Enterprises. What kind of business is Grey Enterprises, you ask? I don't know. At one point, Universal Studios had a company website made to promote the movie, but I guess they didn't want to pay for the domain name anymore because that's gone now. I did find this screenshot though on the Wayback Machine that says they do communication technology and sustainable energy, and none of this is important to the plot at all, so I'm just gonna move on.
It's smart business.
So Anastasia sits down at the very edge of her seat for her interview with the vampire. Pretty soon though, Christian dominates the conversation and asks Anna if she'd be interested in an internship after she graduates. And I'm sure you will all be disgusted to know that the costume designer really did intend for Anna to look like a child here.
It's a little bit like a little girl puts together to go to school on the first day. We made these shirts on the reverse side of fabric with a toggle coat that I designed and we made to complete sort of a little girl look.
So you're a control freak?
Oh, I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
Okay, grow up.
Do you have any interests outside of work?
I enjoy various physical pursuits.
Buddy.
She's about to find out.
He's just trying to tell her he fucks.
Yeah.
Without
Everything he
saying.
has said.
He's
yeah.
like, I am heartless and I fuck. And that's all my personality.
My hobbies are being evil and boning.
Are you gay?
Her roommate wanted to know.
Her roommate.
Yeah.
My roommate wanted to know if you're gay, so.
If he was gay, this would probably be a more interesting movie, I think.
Why is she so mousy? Like, how do you give an interview like this? Put some bass in your voice. Come
Right.
on.
Not the pencil.
Man.
I hope you got everything you needed.
I think you only answered 4 questions.
How'd you not see that?
Because she's silly and quirky.
How'd you not notice
and
it's
falls on
gone?
her face.
Yeah.
Shady.
Who when it's
Wait,
raining
what?
is like, I'm just gonna
Girl.
stand out here in for longer.
She's all hot.
She has to breathe because she saw the hottest man alive.
Wait, is that what it is?
Yes.
So was that sexual tension? Because it just
It was supposed to be sexual tension.
Interesting, because I was reading it as fear.
After getting very wet in the Seattle rain, Anna returns to the apartment to tell Kate about the interview. Kate can tell Anna is flustered by her encounter with Christian, so she does what any good roommate would do and teases her while stealing her sandwich.
Rude.
Whoa.
First you make her work for you, and then
I
you make her cook for you.
Damn.
I might retract this. Kate gets freaky too, but I feel like if she doesn't, I would be Kate in this movie. Just like stealing my friend's sandwiches and hanging out on the sidelines while everyone else is fucking.
The next day, Anna seductively bites Christian's pencil, and now we get to meet Anna's friend Jose Rodriguez. He's a photographer, and he has a thing for Anna, and those are his only character traits. Now cut to later that day, and we find Anna working her job at the hardware store, completely unaware that she's being stalked by Christian.
Jump scare, what the fuck? Why is he at your job?
Yeah, it was fear at the...
If you cut this different, it would be a horror movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He did show like a vampire down there. Like he just materialized.
Yeah.
I like that.
What can I help you with?
Do you stock cable ties?
It's like if American Psycho was like portrayed as a love story.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you recommend?
Maybe coveralls, so you protect your clothes?
Could just take all my clothes off.
Sir.
We are in a. This is a Home Depot.
This is a Wendy's.
But also, if you are into kink, why would you like just sneakily question? Like, isn't the whole thing about kink supposed to be openness and consent?
Yes. Back in the day, it was different. Back in 2015, it was a lot different. But you'll see.
They hadn't invented consent yet.
You'll see.
Consent wasn't coined until 2016. It was coined after this movie came out.
That's why both of the sequels, though, chock full of consent.
After that extremely questionable interaction, the movie cuts to Christian doing a photo shoot with Anna, Kate, and Jose. Then Christian invites Anna out to a coffee shop so he can be weird to her there too.
Eat.
Run.
Ew.
Right.
Is this not terrifying?
Right?
Yeah.
He's so weird.
Someone handles my muffin and then says,
Yeah.
Eat!
He didn't even finish peeling it. He peeled half of the wrapper and then was like,
I'll walk you out.
wait, they just got here.
Movie magic.
Nobody drank the coffee or ate the muffin.
They just looked at.
I love how
She just swallowed the cup and said, that was good.
I don't do the girlfriend thing.
What is that even?
Watch it.
Oh my gosh.
Eat her.
Well, that's the
Just
truck
vampire
scene.
speak.
Okay, right, yeah. Just like
I've
in
seen Twilight, so I feel like I know where this is going.
Having narrowly avoided death by bicycle, Anna goes out to a bar with Kate, Jose, and a couple nameless extras. Anna gets really drunk off one shot of tequila and excuses herself to the bathroom so she can call Christian on her flip phone.
I swear Christian's there.
In the bathroom.
He's in the women's bathroom in the stall, like hunched over the toilet.
He's like, pee.
Oh no, don't text him.
I thought you might be here.
Also, people had iPhones at this point. Like, she's on a
Yeah, it's
flip
2015.
phone. That's fascinating.
Where are you?
He's on a MacBook.
I'm in line because I have to pee really bad.
Anastasia, have you been drinking?
No,
Yeah.
Dad.
Not the fucking protective. He met her 2 days ago.
But he saved her from the bike.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Needing some cool air after that very sexy and not at all creepy phone call, Anna stumbles outside only to have Jose be creepy to her too.
I don't know when I'll have the courage to do this.
No,
Ew.
wait. She's drunk. Sir.
I like you
You do?
very much.
Oh my god.
Oh.
He's like pushing.
Why would you wait until she's drunk to tell her that you like her?
Please.
Every man here
Please
is
what?
stressful.
Well, this is 2015. It was BC. Before consent.
I'm sorry. No.
Dude, she said no.
How would you hear that?
Oh my god.
Through the walls.
It's
Through the
fucking
walls.
vampire.
Christian.
Girl, you had one shot.
Literally.
Tighten up.
Anemic. Like, why are you falling?
Obviously, she can't hang. Don't bring her out.
Right.
The next morning, Anna wakes up in a hotel room with different clothes on. Christian comes in and tells her that he carried her to bed, changed her clothes, and slept in the same bed with her. But don't worry, guys, he didn't do anything else, okay? He's not that type of guy. Okay?
Necrophilia is not my thing.
I love how she just has to take his word for it too. She's like,
True.
"Did you do something to me?" He's like, "No." Okay,
I trust you.
Right.
sure.
Put yourself at risk last night.
Or no.
Whoa.
If you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week.
Ew.
What's
Not my fucking toast. Are you kidding me?
Imagine waking up with the worst hangover in your life and a naked stranger eating your toast.
Your bread out of your hand like a mouse.
Get a restraining order.
Yeah, right.
Things like this. That's the movement I really like. I would slow motion that movement. It reminded me of my dog just going clunk and just moving his back like a downward dog and then clomping on that bread. I just loved it. It's poetry.
I don't do romance. My tastes are very singular.
Aromantic.
Singular as an asexual?
Okay. So he's aromantic,
All right.
allosexual.
Alright. I see you.
Sure.
I mean, you're weird about it, but
Super creepy way to do it, but
you can just be like that. It's okay.
Without being creepy.
Yeah.
Right?
So then Christian touches her face some more, and Anna bites her lip again, and then they get changed, and then Anna bites her lip again, and Christian touches her face some more, and then he says he wants to bite her lip.
I'm not gonna touch you.
Well, you're currently
That's all
touching
you've been
her.
doing her.
You're literally currently touching her.
I think he's going to bite her lip like he bit that toast, you know?
Girl, he's a liar. Run.
Yeah.
Fuck the paperwork.
Oh
Ooh, he actually touched her now. I was wrong.
Why are her
Big
hands
without,
The
you know,
sexiest
big
thing a
hands.
person can say. Fuck the paperwork.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine kissing someone for the first time and they throw your hands up on your head?
Oh, I would be worried about deodorant. Like, oh
Yeah.
my
Yes.
He's
Yes.
right there.
After that, Anna brings Christian over to her apartment, and when they walk in, they find Kate having sex with Christian's brother, Elliot Gray.
Okay, I'm no longer
Whoa.
Kate.
Did he just he put his jeans back on?
They don't have a bedroom in that apartment.
They do.
So the roommate is like, you know, sexually adventurous, open.
Yeah.
And she is supposed to be very
Demure.
Yeah.
It's different.
She's not a real person. She's
Yeah.
just like a stock image of someone who's like, oh, it's just me.
To ask the questions.
Little.
Yeah.
Just little me.
Okay, later that night, Anna puts on her signature Madame Web jacket and gets in a helicopter with Christian while that Love Me Like You Do song that has haunted retail workers for almost a decade plays in the background.
The first date is in a hell. Oh my god, that is kind of cool.
I swear, if they have helicopter roadhead, I'm leaving.
Ew.
Don't look. Please stop.
Can she not buckle herself? I'm sorry. She's not a child.
But
He keeps like feeding her and buckling.
No escaping now.
Help!
Yeah, I am
Literally.
about
It is a seatbelt in a helicopter. No one is going to escape unless they want to kill themselves to what?
It's not the sexy type of possessive. You know what I mean?
It's just
Right.
honestly, this is
It's just
terrifying.
weird.
But I guess when you're rich, it is.
I guess.
No, but
If someone gives you enough money, you might
Everything's
differently.
sexy when you're
But
rich.
that is not. Objectively, I'm not
Okay,
even saying
I
this
need
is
you to
very
not
sexual.
look at her while you're flying the helicopter.
Yes.
Like I get it, like oh
Totally.
she's so pretty.
And it's full of
Eyes on the
eyes.
skies.
gross.
Eyes on the sky, yeah.
Stop exchanging glances. You're flying.
So, is this supposed to be like? Are we supposed to want this, or is this supposed to be terrifying?
No, you're
supposed to be, like,
supposed to want it.
fantasy,
You're
like,
supposed to be
ooh.
like mysterious.
But that's, I mean, even so, logically, like, forget not being sexually, you know, stimulated. It's just this weird, like you can be that. You can be sexy without just being like, now you can't escape and putting the seatbelt on. She's not a child, number one, someone said it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like putting her into like a booster seat or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like,
Like in the middle part.
But you can
Us
say
currently
that
on
with
booster
your eyes
seats.
in a sexy way. Not just like this, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
he gave me mom vibes.
So now that we've established that Christian can fly a helicopter, it's time to see his penthouse, which was actually a very expensive set that was completely built from scratch in a warehouse in Canada.
Oh, now that
This is
apartment sexy.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm wet again.
Yeah, like the grand
Architecture.
the grand piano would be all that I needed.
Right.
Like a penthouse with access to a terrace.
Yeah.
Oh.
Before we get to admire the set design though, Christian sits Anna down so she can sign an NDA, and as soon as she does, he leans in to deliver the funniest line in the movie.
Are you gonna make love to me now?
I don't make love. I fuck.
Sir.
Oh.
Be for real.
Oh.
He thought
We
he
knew
ate
that,
it.
sir.
I don't shit. I dump. Poop.
Right after that flawless piece of dialogue, Christian takes Anna into the hallway so she can deliver the second funniest line in the movie.
It's just beyond this door.
What is?
My playroom.
Like your Xbox and stuff?
Like your
Yeah,
ex, like
Xbox.
me for real. Me coming to someone's house, they're like, "Do you want to go in my room?" It's like, "Oh, is that where the PS4 is?"
So Christian opens the door to his big red BDSM room and brings Anna inside. And now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for.
Okay, now that looks sexy.
Yeah.
Wet again.
While the asexuals were distracted by garlic bread, there's a scene where Anna admits that she hasn't had sex before. Of course, Christian gets very excited by this and immediately takes her into the bedroom to have some nice, beginner-friendly, vanilla, non-sadomasochist sex with her. And for those of you who have always wanted to see what 6 asexuals watching a sex scene together looks like, well, you're in luck.
Oh my god.
Okay, I feel like if you're losing your virginity though, you don't want it to be like crazy kinky shit. Like you gotta work your way up.
Well, that's
I don't think
that's
there's
what
no
he's
crazy
doing.
shit. Yeah,
Okay.
He's like, first I gotta deflower you, and then I gotta
Yeah.
devour you.
I'm gonna fuck you normal.
Yeah, right.
Fucking in parentheses regular.
This is like kind of sterile feeling though, like
Giving doctor's office vibes.
yeah, like he's performing an operation.
Yeah.
Genuinely, what do men do with their parts during this filming? Like
They normally have like a little
They have a
modesty.
little cover on it.
Yeah, there's like covers that go
like
over
tube
everyone's.
socks, right?
They also do like prosthetics for men as well.
Yeah.
Over their actual PPs.
Now, when you talk to actors when they're shot sex scenes, usually it's a very kind of boring process, they say. How are you guys able to kind of get in the moment during those scenes?
Jamie has a fluffer.
What's a fluffer?
Just kidding.
The next morning, Anna wakes up early to make Christian pancakes, and then they take a bath together and have sex again. Before they can get too far into this sex scene, though, they're interrupted by the arrival of Christian's mother, Grace Trevelyan Gray.
It's my mother.
My mom. She's a brunette. I
She
know where
would
this
make
is
a great dom, though.
Yes, yes.
Anna, meet my mother, Dr. Grace Trevelyan Gray.
You have no idea how delighted I am to meet you.
Because she's a brunette like you. I know where this
They
is
look
going.
so similar, actually.
Yeah.
After his mom leaves, Christian offers to drive Anna home in one of the 5 Audis he has parked in the garage, while Earned It by The Weeknd plays in the background.
Oh.
God, it'd be such a turn off to know a guy just like hoards wealth.
Yeah.
Like,
Before anything else, you say billionaire and I'm out the door.
and I'm like, ugh.
I'm just shocked she's asleep. Like I would
That's
be
what I trust is like,
high
awake.
alert.
Is
Thought
she
the
like
same.
worried at all? Like she's into romance, he is not, and she's not worried. She just goes along for the ride. Like
In
It's
the
because
woods.
she's new to all this. She's never done it before.
Let's go for a walk.
In the woods?
In the woods.
When you were sleeping the whole time.
Girl, find a bear.
If she's
Please.
No, I'm just excited for her to get on his back and fly through the trees.
Literally hang on tight, spider monkey.
Instead of climbing up trees, though, Christian just walks around and explains that he's like this because a woman sexually abused him between the ages of 15 and 21 by making him her submissive. That sounds really messed up, but the movie actually treats this as no big deal at all and brushes right past it. Actually, if anything, the movie makes it sound like it was a good thing.
By giving up control, I felt free. I felt safe.
Anyway, Christian drives Anna home, gives her a BDSM contract to read, and then says,
Laters, babe. 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 Laters, babe.
Anna walks into her apartment as Kate is on her way out, but before Kate leaves, she stops to give her that classic post-virginity line.
You look different.
I hate that show.
no, you guys, because virginity fundamentally changes someone.
Yes.
We all know.
Now for the next 5 minutes, we get to see a montage of Anna reading the BDSM contract, which basically outlines how Christian wants to control every aspect of her life, from how she speaks to him to what she's allowed to eat. This is supposed to be sexy, by the way.
The submissive will eat regularly to maintain her health and well-being from a prescribed list of foods.
Like, it's one thing if you want to be dominant about what is happening sexually. To be dominant about her whole life?
I mean, that's like high level kink though. Like people do that. Where they like literally control the other person and the other person likes it.
Right.
So it's like this is kind of on par for like some factions of kink. But like, especially for her, this is kind of insane.
Just Google that shit.
Firefox?
What was that?
Firefox was a great browser.
It was. My dad still uses it. Oh. What was that? The air conditioner.
Anyway, Anna rejects his proposal because it's kind of horrifying and smiles as she breaks up with him over text. And now here's another jump scare.
It's been nice knowing me, has it?
The point of the contract was for her to provide consent, and she didn't.
Yeah, she said no,
She
and then
said
you
no.
show up at her house.
No.
She said no.
No,
Let
ma'am.
me remind you how nice.
Oh,
buddy.
whoa.
This is not consent.
Now we're in
No,
coercion. That's crazy.
Oh no. Okay,
Sir. And she
that's
just worked out.
rape.
Is this what you want?
And she nods it. Okay, I am furious right now.
Does she know that other people will be normal about this? Like,
Yeah.
he's not the
Yeah.
only person who does kink in Seattle. I'm sorry.
He's giving her
He's
no
the richest.
context.
Yeah.
Right.
The only context is like, whoa,
Right.
whoa, I fucked you regular one time, so.
Right.
He spit in her mouth.
No, you have to.
No.
Can you imagine?
Oh
you think someone's gonna kiss you, and all of a sudden you're getting waterboarded. Ice nipple.
Ice nipple.
Okay.
Yay, condom.
Slay.
Is this anal or doggy style?
I'm assuming doggy
Unclear
style. Yeah.
She's had sex once and he's going for anal.
I mean, I wouldn't be out of character.
Later that day, Anna messages Christian to tell him that she'll go along with his proposal, but only if she can make changes to the contract. So the next day, the two meet in a conference room space lit like the lava room from The Incredibles to discuss the terms of their relationship. And right away, Anna makes her boundaries clear.
Turn to page 5, find anal fisting, strike it out.
He's so pissed he has to strike out anal fisting.
No fisting.
You have big ass fist.
Genital clamps? Absolutely not.
I was gonna say, what is a genital clamp?
I'm thinking like forceps, but I feel like that.
But that's the opposite of a clamp.
What are butt plugs?
I mean, if you don't want someone to fist you in the anus, then covering it with a plug is a good idea.
So after discussing a few more buzzwords like
Suspension, rope, leather cuffs, handcuffs.
Cable ties? Cable ties? Cable ties?
Christian concedes to Anna's desires by agreeing to go on one date with her a week. And now here is some of that beautiful E.L. James dialogue that you all know and love.
I would like to fuck you into the middle of next week.
Don't say that. That's not titillating at all.
You want to leave?
Yes.
But your body tells me something different.
Oh, bullshit.
You don't know my body.
Get over yourself, you knobhead.
You can't tell me this man is not a serial killer.
See, I just think of my daughter. If someone was like this to my daughter, I would have probably just taken that genital clamp and clamped him out of existence.
Anna stands her ground though and leaves without signing the contract or having sex with Christian on the conference room table. Now the movie cuts to Anna and Kate's college graduation scene. And hey, take a wild guess who the commencement speaker is.
Please join me in welcoming Mr. Christian Grey.
He's talking at her graduation.
Let her have her moment. This is her
Why is
graduation.
he
You're gonna make it about
everywhere?
you. He
That's
showed up
crazy.
wearing the sex tie.
Oh no.
Just to clarify, the movie actually did mention in the beginning that Christian was already scheduled to be the commencement speaker, and that's why he was being interviewed for the school newspaper at the beginning of the movie. He didn't sign up to speak just because Anna was there, and it doesn't matter. Never mind.
I heard he's gay.
Once the ceremony is over, Christian has his driver take them back to her apartment. And if you're wondering why her apartment looks different now, it's because she and Kate moved in an earlier scene. This wasn't important to the plot at all, so that's why I didn't mention it.
Roll your eyes at me again,
Huh?
and I would take you across my knees.
Jesus Christ!
What?
Is the agreement signed?
No.
No.
I have something to show you. Happy graduation, Anastasia.
Watch me roll
Love
my eyes at
bombing.
you right now.
Love bombing.
But I have a car. Where's my car?
I told Taylor to fetch a decent price.
You took her car without
took
her
her car?
permission?
Wait.
I would be so fucking pissed if someone's
Christian, this is way too much.
Did you just roll your eyes at me?
There's so much stuff in there.
I know.
You stole her car!
I love and sold it.
Pass me your garlic bread. Yeah.
This is so stressful.
It's so
He sold your
upsetting.
car.
Well, the thing
Spank him
is,
back.
they
Put him over
wouldn't
your knee.
have a movie. They wouldn't have a movie if she actually looked after her own interests.
Right.
After that very normal scene, Christian leaves to go do some business or whatever, and as Anna watches him leave, she suddenly gets a call from her mom, Carla Wilkes.
Hi, Mama.
Can you imagine calling your mom right after that?
Right after that.
Ugh.
Right after that.
Honey, if you need a break, you just come right on down here, and we could talk and have girl time.
Girl time.
Girl time.
Anastasia, go.
The next morning, Kate and Anna have a conversation that's not important to the plot at all, so I'm just gonna skip past it, and now it's time for yet another makeout scene on the couch.
She's wearing shoes on a couch.
Wait,
That's my main issue with this.
I thought she was gonna take it off, and she did. She just
She
rubbed
didn't.
it
She
in.
just rubbed the shoe
I was
in.
like, oh.
Before Anna gets a chance to get shoe dirt all over Christian's couch, though, he grabs her hand and takes her into his sex dungeon, which starts a 6-minute-long sex scene set to a slowed-down remix of Crazy in Love by Beyonce. And for those of you who have always wanted to see what 6 asexuals watching a BDSM sex scene together looks like, well, today's your lucky day.
Take off your shoes. Arms above your head.
See, I would just feel goofy doing
I
this.
know.
Like Simon says. Gonna braid her hair, aw.
Like your sisters.
I hit ya.
Yeah, he went from spanking her a little bit to caning her.
Dude, this is like school. I went to a Catholic school. This is like school. On your knee and you... No one?
No, that was not my school.
I can say I did not do this at school.
So my question is, can she ever just be like, I don't feel like doing this?
I mean, part of the contract was that she has to submit without hesitation to
Yeah.
anything he asks for.
Right.
So I think no.
Yeah. I don't think she really understood
No.
that
She
before she
certainly did
yeah.
He put it in his pocket. It is Ken Badgley.
She gonna get it
But
back?
This is you.
That's why he's wearing jeans. They have deep pockets.
Yeah, I was gonna say underwear is expensive, but he bought her a car.
He had no, did I see what I saw? Did I? Oh,
Damn.
oh God.
This man is
Please
allergic
wear
to underwear.
Maybe that's why he's so fascinated by her underwear, because he doesn't wear it. He's like,
What is
this?
After getting their freak on, Christian carries Anna to bed. When she wakes up, she finds a dress waiting for her because Christian is taking her out to dinner with his family. Before they leave, though, they stop to have a very awkward little dance scene.
Then you.
Oh, she's dancing.
Okay.
White girl dancing.
Oh, honey.
Oh my God.
And in this moment, I do feel represented by this.
At the family dinner, Anna mentions to Christian's parents that she's planning to visit her mom in Savannah, Georgia soon. For some reason, this makes Christian really angry, so he takes her outside, carries her over his shoulder, gives her a very weak spank, and then brings her to a pool house and tries to pressure her again into signing his sex contract.
If you just signed the contract, you wouldn't have to think
Why do you
about
care
that.
so much about the contract, Christian?
She did sign it?
No. We
He's just
thought she did.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I won't do this shit till we do,
Yeah.
but then...
And then he does it anyway.
Has Dakota Johnson been in like a good movie? I feel like she deserves it.
Period piece where everyone said she had iPhone face.
Very specific.
That's all I know.
I would hate to see her Android face.
Well, this movie is her flip phone face.
Okay, then later that night, Christian delivers a monologue about how he's adopted and his birth mother was
A crack addict and a prostitute.
which seems like important information, but Christian says this while Anna is asleep and he's facing away from her. So I guess he's just talking to himself here.
Sometimes. I think I see her in my dreams.
Later that week, Anna goes to Georgia while Christian texts her flip phone with iMessage blue text on the wrong side of the screen. Then Anna and her mom sit down for some daytime martinis, but they're interrupted by... who else?
Holy fuck. What is it? It's Christian. He's here.
He's here? He's right behind you, isn't he? Yep.
This is stalking.
Yeah.
Her mom should be concerned.
Something to drink, sir?
Gin and tonic. Hendrix if you have it. Otherwise, Bombay Sapphire.
I like him already.
Why is her mom turned on by this?
I know, that's creepy.
She toxic too.
No, Mom, stay.
No.
Right.
Help,
Don't
Mom.
leave your daughter with this creep.
Isn't she visiting her mom?
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
So he's taking all of her time.
Yes.
And part of it was like she wanted to get away from him.
Yeah.
Instead of getting away from him, of course, she and Christian drive to an airport and she gets in a glider with him so they can be in a confined space together 3,000 feet above the ground. This is supposed to be very romantic, by the way.
Do it.
Release.
Oh, release.
No,
That's
no,
so scary.
absolutely not.
Oh.
Scary. This is worse than anything else in this movie.
Die.
Hold on tight.
Hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
Oh wait, this is the scene.
I don't like it. How do they land?
Exactly.
He's rich.
Right after landing the glider, Christian answers a business call without turning his phone on and leaves immediately to go back to Seattle. Then after having spent almost no time with her daughter, Anna's mom takes her to the airport.
Thank you for everything, Mom.
Take care of it.
Thank you for what? You've just been so weird about this stalker.
Yeah. Some guy stalked your daughter and then you left her alone with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only other interaction she heard about him was her crying on the phone because
Right.
of how he was treating her. And the mom is like, have fun, sweetie.
Right.
Like, what?
You'll figure it out.
Back in Seattle, Anna goes straight to Christian's penthouse for another passionless BDSM scene that neither actor wants to do. Except this time, instead of Beyonce, the background music is like church music.
The music.
And what
Catholic
the fuck
church.
is
Church music. Bring back Beyonce.
At a certain point, it's not even like sensational anymore. It's just kind of like, okay.
This is not hardcore porn. This is or softcore. This is like Joey Tribbiani acting in porn.
Also, he's always wearing suit pants, like when she meets him, and then he changes into
He
jeans.
changes into.
Jeans
He's
are
like,
his
let me
underwear."
slip on something a little bit more comfortable.
Those are his inside jeans.
Yeah.
Later that night, Christian is playing the piano alone in the dark when Anna appears to ask him, once again, why they can't just have a normal, heterosexual, vanilla relationship.
Why do you want to punish me?
If I told you, you'd never look at me the same way again.
Why are they making kink into something that is because you're damaged? Like,
Yeah.
Right. I know.
Right.
Justice for the kink community. They don't deserve this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason he's into kink is because he was abused
Yeah.
by an
Yeah.
older woman.
Yeah.
That's super.
That's like
upsetting.
people, saying you're, if you, like when, I tell someone I'm asexual, sex repulsed, were you abused?
Yeah, that's the first question.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're less traumatized, you won't feel like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
A lot of people think that about gay people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm 50 Shades of fucked up.
Oh, fuck off.
There's the
title!
Money shot.
It's over. Cut the film. Cut the film. It's done.
Then, in a turn of events I can't even begin to understand, Anna asks Christian to hit her as hard as possible so she can, understand what Christian wants?
One.
Two. 3. Go on.
Yeah.
No, numbers.
It's okay, I'm saying it for you.
3.
You got this. Go faster.
We'll do it all together.
I know.
We're the cheerleaders
4.
here.
4. I don't like this. She's crying.
Yeah. I feel kind of bad now.
I don't.
He feels bad too a little. But she
Neither of
did
them
ask
wants to
for
do it.
this.
5.
But
literally
those,
crying.
those are not
Who
tears, they are
watched
holy
this?
water. They are
Who watched this in a theater and was like, oh yeah.
Neither of them wants this.
This is so uncomfortable. The only way people had sex after this movie is very dry sex because I feel like I'm evaporating from inside.
The next morning, Anna basically says, "We're done," and turns to leave Christian for good. Christian starts following her out though, and
Stop.
No.
Dude, stop. Yeah.
He's like a puppy. No.
Hit him on the nose.
Throw him a toast.
Christian.
And the movie should end here.
It is. It does.
Does it?
It does.
It does?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were doing
They
a
don't
bit.
even end up together?
Wait, that's
This is
it?
the first movie of 3 movies.
I'll be pissed if I walked out.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Wait, what
that's the
happens
end.
in the second
What
movie?
the fuck?
Break it down for you now, baby, it's simple. If you be an info, I'll be an info. In the hotel or in the back of the rental.
so that was 50 Shades of Grey. It's a nasty little movie that started off as a Twilight fan fiction, and it made one woman in particular filthy, filthy, filthy rich. And that's all there is to it. Right?
I think the problem is that kink, the way I understand it, I'm not in the community, is supposed to be very pleasurable for both of them.
Yeah.
And the way that they portrayed it in this movie was somebody who had no idea anything about sex or anything about the community, being kind of like shoved into it, and when she went against it, he pushed harder.
Yeah.
And that's where it's not kink, it's just creepy.
Yeah.
Version.
You
Yeah.
were stalking her, like
Yeah.
Right.
That was the worst part. Showing up to your mom's.
Yeah.
I think that was the bigger issue too. Is like neither of them actually wanted what this is.
Yeah, the
Like,
dynamic.
Right.
No.
especially that kind of like penultimate scene where she's like, I want to see how bad you are. Like, he doesn't want to hit her and she doesn't want to be
So
hit.
like, is he truly into it? Like maybe both of them are not. And then it's just awful that you play kink as a big part of this.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
It's
When
trauma.
it's trauma,
I think
exactly.
so. No, I think like clearly he was groomed as a child.
As soon as I saw the brunette hair, I said, "Oh, I know exactly what's going on." Because literally everyone either had blonde hair or their hair was black. But she was the one other brunette that showed up. I said, "Oh, I know what's
It's
going
just
on."
not
here."
Asian. And that's the thing is like the whole movie just ended up being like kink, and all of this stuff that has happened is because of it's what we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
abuse and
Yeah.
glorification of like abusive children, and then like
You abuse a child, they automatically grow up and turn it. It is just
and
so
turn it
sexual.
around on
Yeah.
other people.
This didn't seem sex positive at all. Like,
No, these were happy.
She seemed
The money seemed.
she was upset
Well,
the whole movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And he didn't even really seem to get anything out of it. Like, he was also unhappy, and like
Right.
the kink scenes didn't really seem to like help him release actually anything. Like, he's still like
almost like he knows she's not into it.
yeah. And you could like do this as like an examination of like cycles of abuse and like maladaptive coping things, but there's something
Right.
there.
Yeah.
There's interesting themes, just none of them are like actually.
But they always have the wrong take on this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
We
was
could
like
talk about these things.
if this was all in like an actual critical negative light, then I feel like a lot of the themes could have actually worked. But the problem is that they framed it as like this is like titulating or like whatever.
Yeah.
And
They
it's like
wanted it to be
Everyone
titillating,
wants
but it
this.
wasn't. It's like she was childish for the first half. Like, you know, it's almost like they
the amount of
put
times he was literally cradling her in her.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
it was quite uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
it was.
And the whole helicopter thing, buckling her in. Like,
Oh,
she's a
yeah,
child.
that was
yeah.
And he fed her a lot. He was a lot of like, eat.
Yeah. But like so much of what he talks about is like the idea of control, and he's so pushing on her to like relinquish control and like push her boundaries and all of that.
Yeah.
But like every time she challenges him, every time she's like, "Oh, could you be like emotionally intimate with me?" just try, maybe.
He just shuts down.
Yeah.
Could have been an interesting exploration of like gender dynamics and like change it, but it was like, what if we perpetuate the exact same stereotypes that have always existed and then made it even worse because he is literally so rich, so powerful, physically strong, and very like.
Yeah, I mean, would they make this movie again with a little bit, like, you know, consulting all of us?
Right. So we're the professionals.
Get out of us.
Yeah. And you want to show sex? Let's ask a bunch of asexuals how to show sex. We will teach you everything, and then we'll solve America and the world.
Right, obviously, yeah.
I am Evasive. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Letterboxd. And if you want to see the full recording of the Asexuals watching 50 Shades of Grey, or if you just want to support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon, link in the description below. And please let me know in the comments if you want me to force Asexuals to watch the other 2 50 Shades movies as well. I'm sure they're all just dying to know what happens next. Also, on an unrelated note, the war in Gaza is still going on and there are countless people who still need help. Right now, I'm using my platform to promote some underfunded GoFundMe campaigns for people who are stuck in the war zone. I've created a spreadsheet for these and the link is in the description below. If everyone who watches this video donated $1, that would be $100,000 for people in need. So please donate a little bit if you're able to. And now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch a good romance movie, like In the Mood for Love, or Before Sunrise, or Shrek. Probably Shrek.
Fiona and I are gonna have some fun this Valentine's Day. 50 Shades of Grey, spice up the holiday. Fiona, the love of my life.
Special thank you to my top tier patrons, Ackler, Alexis Angiano, Andrea Morton, Andrew Coro, Andrew C., Bruno, Caleb Fortner, Carl, Caroline Alba, Doc Davis, Dylan Zahner, Eric Vasilevsky, Gary V-Dub, Kit, Lucas Probably, Mara Copland, Marina Plays Bass, Matthew J., Mickey Looney, Pigeon Rose, Pooh Bear Thought, Queer Little Guy, Richard Brown, and Sarah Melody.